Hello, and welcome to this special Christmas episode of Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 14 of Ore Monogatari. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Now, last we left off, Oda was making it pretty clear he was gonna get up to something and sort of, interfere. You know, he's offering something of a Faustian bargain. Ai gets the opportunity to sort of confess and clear the air, despite already saying that, you know, she wasn't interested in all that, and realistically, it can only cause friction, you know, it's not going to be a good thing, I don't think. So I guess the only question now is, how far do things slide, you know, how far south do things go? Because at the very least, Ai makes it pretty clear that she's not interested in this. You know, good on her. I mean, I feel like Oda's not necessarily trying to cause trouble, he's trying to get in good with Ai. Now, given that the title of the episode is My Jinx, I think it's important to remember that the whole reason behind this group trip to MM Land is mainly because of the superstition that if you go there as a couple, you will inevitably break up. And, you know, nobody really wants that. Although, only Yamato was really aware of the superstition to begin with. And she sort of didn't really tell anybody about it initially, because it seemed childish, but I don't know. I think it's to her credit that she wants to avoid even a slight possibility of ending a relationship prematurely. So I get the feeling that Oda's already trying to maneuver things. Yeah, like, it's hard not to see it knowing what I know as an outside observer. But, on the other hand, I feel like, he also just kind of knows her well enough. You know, she seems to be the type who, I don't know, she doesn't let on exactly what she's thinking. She's not entirely honest with herself. Which I guess probably factors into this whole business about getting her some time alone with Takeo. Cause, I don't want to keep vacillating between opinions here, but I think Oda does have a good point in that, you know, taking this whole thing to her grave, you know, not confessing her love to Takeo, then, you know, that's gonna have negative ramifications. So that said, you know, even though they're trying to facilitate this set of circumstances, Ai's trying to thwart him at every turn, and Wow. How prescient of the ghoul. You know, I know this is basically supposed to be a play on Disney World, but I was under the impression that they didn't really have any, really scary stuff. Not that this is inordinately scary or anything. Yeah, you know, I'm not liking this less hopeful tone that Takeo is adopting. You know, I feel like, if anything, he should certainly be of the opinion that things have worked out so far. So you should try to, remain optimistic, you know. Pessimism won't help you. So naturally, I feel like, Oda is going to be asking some probing questions here, you know. He's asking about the relationship and how, you know, Yamato initiated and how he'd like Ai to do the same thing. So he's sort of, I guess, seeding the idea that she has something to get off her chest. And, you know, if Takeo could be brought around to his perspective, then, you know, all the better, right? So poor Takeo. Like, he doesn't quite understand what levels of three-dimensional chess are going on here, so he thinks, no doubt, that he could potentially help. Man. You know, that really is something, just like holding on to hot stuff and carrying them like that in the palm of your hand. I guess it's no more remarkable than picking up and throwing bowling balls, but it's just like, you know, I've burned my hands before, and I don't enjoy it. Oh dear. Yeah, you know, surely that, I don't know whether or not that's an accident or if he's just sort of trying to set himself up. Yeah, you know, I can't quite get a read on this guy. I feel like he's definitely being cunning here. You know, if this wasn't something he did deliberately, he's certainly taking advantage of the circumstances. And, you know, I get the feeling that I might just give in to temptation. I mean, it doesn't help that Oda's prodding her. Yeah, he's a rat. You know, don't bother trying to call Yamato, I took your phone. Yeah, you know, he's definitely, leading them around, taking a long time, trying to, basically stall for as much time as possible. I mean, I feel like at this point, it's got to be nakedly transparent what he's doing. I mean, I guess he's also lying, saying that, hey, they're on their way. And, you know, the worst part about all of this is, Yamato's gratitude, because it's heartfelt, and, you know, she is right, but I feel like Oda's doing this maybe not totally for selfish reasons, but, you know, he's not doing it for Takeo and Yamato. I'm wondering if he's gonna start feeling guilty. You know, Ai says he's not a bad guy, so I feel like surely he must feel some remorse for all the subterfuge he's engaging in. I mean, if he really thought so far in advance to sabotage Takeo's phone from charging properly, like, this guy is he's certainly very cunning. You know, he mentioned before that, like, he's really good at weaseling his way out of things, but he's not really good on following through or anything like that. But I feel like for somebody to have planned to such a degree You know, if he really just applied himself, maybe he wouldn't be having the issues he is. Yeah, I don't think Makoto's buying this. I don't think he knows exactly what's going on, but I think he's at this point aware that something is going on. Yeah, what is it with Takeo? It seems like he's just sort of exhibiting all sorts of special superpowers. It's like, oh, I didn't see him over there. And, if this place is as crowded as it's made out to be in these wide shots, then, how could he possibly spot them in a crowd? It's not like they're nearly as distinct as he himself is. But even then, I feel like somebody trying to spot him in a crowd, that would be a bit of a tall order. And I guess the worst part about all this is that Takeo's no help either, Well, we're here, let's take a relaxing ride and do this and do that. And, I feel like there's something distinctly less than relaxing about riding in a teacup ride with somebody that big. Of course, he doesn't quite understand what precisely is going on either. And, he's not really helping matters as much as he seems to think he is. I mean, the poor guy doesn't know any better. It's almost sad in a way that, against her best efforts not to, cause trouble, I think Ai's gonna fold. She's gonna have to say something eventually, I feel like. And in all likelihood, it's going to be at the worst possible time. I really hope I'm just sort of being, pessimistic again and that things work out rather than there being actual relationship trouble. I wouldn't like that. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like she's probably gonna say something. I guess it's too much to expect that they would say something within this sort of secluded area of that 3D place. Man. Yeah, this is not good. Takeo helping a small child and sort of helping a small child in a way that he frequently needed to be helped. I feel like this is it, man. It's all over. I mean, she's bringing up the flower shop anecdote. That was sort of something of embarrassment for her, but yeah, I feel like it's not good. Something's gonna happen now. Ah. So he's done it again. I don't remember what I said back then, but I'll just sort of coincidentally say the same thing again now. And if that doesn't do it, I'll be kind of surprised. Oh dear. Yeah, it seems like in the end that the temptation was likely too much, and based on the background, I feel like everybody's going to sort of congregate together. I mean, I guess to Oda's credit, he sort of realizes that maybe things are not going as he envisioned or planned. You know, I guess maybe the idea here was that this would be a good thing, you know. I hope he was acting from a place of altruism, but I don't know. So I guess, you know, here we go. We get a little bit of development for Oda, you know. He understands exactly how important this is, and, you know, he might be realizing that he kind of pushed it a little too far. I guess we can only hope that he sort of mends things before they really get out of hand. Alright, you know what? I guess that's to be expected. You can't have a confession without something interrupting it at least once. Although at least this time it was merely an announcement and not fireworks. Alright, you know, that was a surprisingly deft save on Ai's part, you know. The parade, you should watch it with Yamato, you know, go run off and find her. Thereby, you know, I guess removing temptation, if not solving the problem. Alright. There we go. Self-restraint has won out. You know, if I were Takeo, I would think that that's kind of a weird thing to say, you know, don't cheat on her. But, I think that's more for herself than for anyone else. Alright, here we go, you know. She very nearly gave in to temptation, but refrained at the last instant. I guess love wins again. So I guess it's kind of unfortunate that they spent most of the day running around in circles looking for each other, but it seems like they really did manage to avoid disaster. And now to her credit, it's basically saying, you know, forget about the jinx. You know, it's, you should be less concerned with that than you should be about Takeo. And, incidentally, I think that's the right approach to take, too. So, you know, obviously, I think Takeo and Yamato, they're going to watch the parade and it's going to be very nice, but I think the real question is, what happens with Ai and Oda? Because, you know, Oda's made his position pretty clear, but, you know, what's the deal? Has Ai received enough closure? I mean, she sort of said she had, but, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, I guess it might be true now, seeing as how Takeo sort of reaffirmed that compliment. Ooh. You know, that hurts a little bit, what Oda's saying, that, you know, you will always find the really important things over and over again, while sort of lingering on a shot of her. And I guess, you know, Takeo's also in a position to sort of search around. It's kind of asymmetrical, you know, I feel like anyone else would have a better time looking for him than vice versa. Alright, you know, I think, maybe I'm going to stop, doubting Ore Monogatari, you know. In any circumstance where they've had the chance of doing something sort of dramatic and pessimistic, they've zigzagged right around it. So, you know what? I think this is sort of a good lesson in its own right. You know, just be optimistic. Not blindly optimistic, but I guess some of it relies on pattern recognition. Bad things could have happened before and they didn't. They didn't for these reasons. So, you know, hold on to that. You know, bad things don't have to happen. Man, you know, it's really good of Takeo, you know, being aware that he's a big giant guy and, you know, if there are kids watching, you know, crouch down a bit. It's just, you know, coincidental that this now brings him down to eye level with Yamato. Alright, yeah, it seems like things have really resolved in the best way possible. Oda has decided that he's gonna go for the girl, so, I guess really everybody kinda got what they wanted. I guess it's also interesting that Takeo, in a sense, had a little bit of a crush on her. But, you know, too little too late, I guess. You know, ships passing in the night and all that. But, I feel like Oda has a chance, despite his scheming. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. Merry Christmas, Space Cowboy.